Atlanta-based Gray Television is breaking ground on a new film and entertainment campus at Doraville's former GM plant, shuttered more than a decade ago. Gray paid nearly $80 million for the 127-acre space. Plans are to capitalize on the state's film industry and foster esports gaming and robotics. Homes, even a hotel. For Doraville City Council member Andy Yeoman, the sale is a relief. When we spoke recently, I asked him why the facility's successful sale and development took so long.
It's important to make sure that it's something that the community wants, and it will continue to be an economic driver for not just Doraville, but northern DeKalb and even the regional area of Georgia. I'm excited. There's 127 acres there today. And it will be 10 state-of-the-art, television stations and movie production studios and e-gaming and roughly 800 units of residential is considered for the first phase. So it has been a long time coming, and I know folks that are driving down 285, it's sorrowing sometimes to see the state that's in today, but I do feel confident that things are finally moving forward.
I want to talk about the buyer, Gray Television. They own small and medium-sized local TV affiliates all across the country. And although they're headquartered here in Atlanta, there's no property presence here in the Atlanta TV market. What does the owner of, say, the CBS affiliate in Greenville, North Carolina, have that makes them right for this site in terms of the future?
That is a good analogy. They don't operate any in the Atlanta market. And as I understand it, has been explained to me, they have recently in the last couple of years made several strategic acquisitions for different studio companies. So the Doraville property at the site of the former GM site will be the front door for their growth as a company and where they continue to go and flourish into the different markets that they're in outside of just owning TV stations.
The price tag, $80 million for 127 acres. Who got the better end of the deal on this one, Gray or the city?
The site in its current condition has been really a symbol of a lot of false starts and somewhat maybe even broken promises into different things that have been proposed there. What has been missing from the previous owner and from any of the previous plans is a large single tenant. They will be the largest single tenant on the property. And the good news is from, I think, the residents of this city and in the region is they've got the capital behind them to make the investment themselves. Their sales and profits have doubled in the last 2 years, and the entire area can potentially really flourish based on a company that has a track record of growth and success and will continue to make that investment in our city versus elsewhere.
My final question is, looking forward, say 5 years from now, what role do you see what is currently the former GM plant about to be turned into kind of pseudo-Hollywood? What do you see that role being in Doraville's identity?
For 60 years, when the GM plant was open, we were a regional job center. Over 3,000 people worked at the site. We forged steel and forged aluminum, and we casted steel and casted aluminum. And now we are moving into casting talent and content worldwide. It really is an identity change and shift from our city. The AJC at the above the fold of their newspaper, the headline was "The Death Watch Begins," and they were talking not just about GM, but the Ford plant had closed, and Georgia Pacific had recently sold, and were no longer going to be a local company, and Georgia had to reinvent themselves. And it's coincidence, but in May of 2005 as well is when Georgia did their first film and tax credit. It's very interesting that, these industrial cities, the Chambly, the Doravilles of North DeKalb, it's going to be a brand new identity for the entire area and something that we can be known for the next 100 years.
Andy Yeoman is on the Doraville City Council and is director of the city's Development Authority. Andy, thank you for talking to me today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.